Last week, I had the wildest experience. I woke up and I felt so sad. I felt so sad. I was like, everything in my life is a disaster. I got to burn it all down. I got to rebuild. I got to fix things. It's all a mess. It's all horrible. And then I sat and asked myself if that was true. And I was like, none of that is true. I was feeling so sad and so defeated and so disappointed and so down. And that feeling was actually completely false. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever been in a situation where you feel a certain way, and then when you question yourself about why you feel that way, you realize, like, actually, your feelings are not based on facts at all? A lot of you are coming out of SKOs. You've got your account list for the year, you've got your quota, and you're doing your territory planning, your account planning, and you're freaking out. And what I want you to know is that your facts, your feelings are not always real. And go with me here. We're going to go into this. I'm going to tell you more about my story and what was actually happening. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this happens to you and exactly what to do about it. So stick around. Before I get into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Deibert. I'm a performance coach for enterprise and strategic account executives. I help with mindset and I help with productivity. And feelings are a piece that combine mindset and productivity and everything together. Feelings genuinely run the show, but we don't always see it that way. And for a lot of my sellers right now, their nervous system is on fire because everything just got set to zero. Their attainment is set to zero. Their pipeline might be at zero. Like everything feels like it's starting fresh, starting over. And their nervous system sees that number and is freaking out. And it's making a lot of my sellers question everything. Question, am I even good at this? I'm in the right career. How am I going to do it again this year? They have a track record of hitting quota every single year for 5-6 years. And yet this year, they're like, what if I can't do it again? What if that's not who I really am? And I want to tell you that sometimes you have these feelings and they're not actually true. I don't want you to gaslight yourself and feel like every single feeling is not true. Feelings are very helpful and they're very useful information, but there are times when your feelings are incongruent with reality. So the other morning I woke up, I'm feeling so defeated, so down, so sad. And then I went through every piece of my life and I was like, no, actually everything's fantastic. The funniest part was I was on vacation. I was having the time of my life. It was so fun. It was so great. And yet I was feeling so sad. And what I realized is that a lot of times this can just be habitual. My brain is just in the habit of waking up and feeling sad. Our brains are prediction machines. Our brains are typically responding to what they predict is happening and not actually responding to reality. So your quota just reset, your attainment just reset, you're starting at zero, it's a new year. And your brain is freaking out about it. Your brain's like, oh no, how are we going to do this? We're not going to be able to do this again. Your brain is just reacting to what it perceives is going to happen. It's not actually reacting to reality. The reality is you're a great seller. You've done this before. You can do it again. You have all the skills. Just because your number resets doesn't mean your skills and your talents reset, but you have to remind yourself of that. Another thing that gets in the way for a lot of sellers is a framework called cognitive distortions, and this is popular in cognitive behavioral therapy. The idea behind cognitive distortions is that it's a shortcut that your brain takes so it doesn't have to spend as much energy, and it's a way that your brain protects you, but actually they're all distortions. Let me rattle off a few of these and tell me if you ever have felt some of these. One is all or nothing thinking. Everything is black and white. There's no gray area. Either I'm going to blow it out of the water or I'm going to completely fail. Another one is catastrophizing. All instantly going to the worst case scenario. And this year is going to be a disaster. I'm going to get put on a PIP. I'm going to get let go. I'm not going to be able to find another job because I'm going to have a bad year this year. You just instantly go right down that rabbit hole of worst possible case scenario. Another one is mind reading, assuming that you know what other people are thinking about you, assuming that you know what they're thinking. My manager hates me. My manager's going to let me go. My manager doesn't like me. Another one is fortune telling, predicting the future poorly. I'm never going to close. This quarter's going to go bad. The next quarter is going to go bad. I'm going to get to the end of the year. I'm going to be scrambling to try to hit my number. Another is discounting the positive. Maybe 100 things go well, but 2 things go bad. And so you don't even pay attention to things that are going well. You're just focused on the things that are going bad. Another one is called emotional reasoning. This one comes up a lot. I feel like a failure, so I must be a failure. For me, I feel like I'm really sad, so I must be sad. We use our emotions to understand what's happening for us, when actually the emotions might just be like a habitual thing that our brain's going through, or like an echo of past things. It might not be related to what's going on right now in reality. There are more cognitive distortions. You can look them up for yourself, but which ones of these sound like you? Which ones of these are the ones that your brain goes to automatically to try to protect you, to try to keep you safe, to try to shortcut and figure out what's going on? It can be really helpful to know what they are and know which ones are your defaults. Then you can start to become aware of them and start to catch yourself when you're doing it. Oh, I'm catastrophizing again. Oh, I'm all or nothing thinking. Oh, I'm mind reading. These are all just shortcuts that your brain takes, and they're not always true. I feel like a failure, so I must be a failure. I feel really anxious, so this must be really bad right now. What if the anxiety has nothing to do with what is happening in reality? What if the reality is that things are just fine? So let me give you some more tactics to get out of this. Hopefully this has helped you to identify where you go wrong, where maybe there's some cognitive distortions, where your mind is leading you astray, maybe where your feelings are leading you astray. And here are some more things that you can do to navigate all of that. First of all, examine the facts. A fact is something that everyone in the world would agree on. A fact is not, I'm a horrible seller. A fact is, I closed 70% of my quota last year. A fact is something that is indisputable. It's not opinion-based. It's something that anybody could look at it and it's completely subjective. Is that the right one? I always mix. Is it subjective or objective? You know what I mean? There's no opinion in this. So what are the actual facts? The actual facts are your attainment just got reset to 0. You're starting a new fresh year. You've got maybe some new accounts, maybe some existing accounts that you had before. You have however many years of experience that you have. That doesn't get erased. Your mind doesn't get erased just because your quota gets reset to 0. What are the actual facts? When you find out what the actual facts are, it can help your brain to stop spiraling out on like, this is going to be a disaster. How am I ever going to hit this? This year's going to be so hard. As you're examining that, ask yourself, are these stories that my brain is offering me actually true? Are they actually true? One of my favorite coaches, her name's Cara Lowenthal, she came up with the best analogy. She said, what happens in your brain is kind of like a drunk cockatoo. It's just repeating things that have been in there that have been like cycling for decades. And it's not even sure what they are or what they mean, but it's just offering you these thoughts that aren't particularly helpful. So ask yourself, are these thoughts even true? And then lastly, remember that your brain is a prediction machine. The way that you can get your brain to predict something new and something different is through taking different action. Rather than letting your brain spin out and overanalyze and get stuck on a particular situation, take different action, show your brain a different outcome, and it will start to predict a new result. This was happening for me at the gym. I was getting really anxious about going to the gym. I was worried that people were watching me, that they were judging me, that they were thinking like, she has no idea what she was doing. And I was having a hard time getting myself to go to the gym. I was waking up very anxious in the mornings. And I was like, this is not who I want to be. This is not how I want to behave. I don't want my brain to be predicting this. And so for a week, I went to the gym. I put my headphones in. I had noise canceling headphones on. I did not make eye contact with anybody. I imagined in my head that I was there by myself. There was nobody else around me. I blocked them all out. And after just a few days of doing this, my body no longer felt anxiety going to the gym. I no longer was predicting that I was going to feel uncomfortable at the gym. And instead, I was able to retrain my brain to be like, this is fine. This is what we do. This is something that we actually enjoy. So by taking different action, your brain will start to predict different results, and it will stop offering you the feelings that aren't particularly helpful for you or the stories that aren't particularly helpful. And you can start to put yourself in a completely different position. Remind yourself that you have always figured it out. No matter what happens, you have a 100% track record of always figuring it out. You're going to have your back this time, just like you've had your back all the other times. You also can remind yourself that you've been in sales for a while. You know how to do this. You're completely qualified. You're completely successful. You're the kind of person who's determined. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this role. You can tell yourself and downplay your achievements and be like, anybody could do what I do. It's not that hard. But the fact of the matter is, not everybody would do what you do. Not everybody would put themselves in such an uncomfortable position. Not everybody would put themselves in growth mode all the time and feel the raging imposter syndrome that you feel, you're the kind of person who pushes yourself and who is determined and wants to grow. And not everybody is like that. You have the skills that you need to be successful in this role today, this year. If you need more pump up, come find me. I'm your girl. I can help you through all of this mindset garbage. It can be really, really helpful to work with a coach because it helps you to calm down all that spiraling. I know personally because I have my own coach, and this is what happens for me. I'll be completely spinning out, completely spiraling, and then I just verbally process everything that's going on, and my coach buckets it up into nice little organized packages, and I can move forward. And I see this happen with all my clients as well. Get into a coaching session, get calmed down, get your head straight, get realigned, and you're going to take so much better action. If you want more help, you can find out all about my programs, all about my offerings, and get on my newsletter at mentalmastery.com. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next week.